Hello everybody, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Arkham Horror, Cool Air, turn 16, and what may prove to be the final turn of the game. We've only got one more gate that we need to seal, and Roland Banks is coming out of the Plateau of Leng this turn, and he has an Elder sign. Also, the first player is Roland Banks this turn, so we couldn't have timed that much better really. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop across to the player area and have a look at the upkeep phase. And here we are looking at Roland. It should be quite a short upkeep phase because I'll do Rita Young's Retainer and Blessing, and Charlie doesn't have to look at his Blessing because he only got it last turn. So there's only really upkeep to do for Roland and Rita to any extent, and we'll get on to him trying to seal the gate as quickly as possible. But as far as Roland's concerned, we don't have to mess around with his focus, for the simple reason that he's using an Elder sign rather than his clues. So he's got enough stamina and enough sanity to use the Elder sign, so that's not a problem. There's nothing else that he wants to do, so that's the end of Roland Banks' upkeep phase. Next is Rita Young. Here's Rita. First of all, she gets $2 for her retainer, and then hopefully for the last time she will roll for the retainer and for her blessing. So first up is the retainer, a 5, so she keeps that, and next up is the blessing, and she keeps that as well. So that's her upkeep done. Again, we're not going to mess around moving any of her focuses or anything, because before she moves, hopefully it'll be game over. Okie doke, let's move on to Charlie and Skids. Here are both Charlie and Skids. Again, I'm not going to change anything. Should be all over by the time it comes to them. So not going to bother moving anything. Charlie doesn't have to roll for his blessing because he only got it last turn, and you don't have to roll for it on the first turn after you get it. Skids isn't changing anything, so we'll just leave it at that, and we'll get on to the movement phase. And here we are, sunny Arkham, and the movement phase. So the first player to move is Roland, and he's coming out at the Plateau of Leng gate, which is at the Unnameable. So during the encounter phase, he will be sealing that gate. Next up is Rita Young, up there at Arkham Asylum, and just for the sake of moving her around, she'll move 2 and go into the Bank of Arkham. Next up is Charlie Kane, who's down here at the Woods, and what Charlie's going to do is he's going to go to St Mary's Hospital. 1, 2, just for the sake of moving. And what's Skids going to do? Well, Skids is Skids, and what Skids is going to do is he's going to go out with a bang. He's going to Southside, and he's going to take out his sort of negative image, his dark doppelganger, this maniac, and he's going to pump a load of bullets into him, because Skids does what Skids does. Right, he's not going to evade him this time. I think it really bothered Skids that he had to evade him last time, so he's going back to finish the job. So doesn't have to make a sanity check. It's just a bloke with an axe. It's only 1 toughness, and he gets +1. Gets +1 to his dice. Now his fight is up at 4, and he's got his Tommy gun, so that equals 10. And The extra dice means he's got 11 dice. Come on, Skids. So, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 dice. Needs 1 success. And he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Basically, he cuts him in half with a Tommy gun. The Maniac's gone. It's another monster trophy for Skids. Excellent work. It's followed through from his excellent work throughout the game. The man's been an absolute star. He's been an absolute pleasure to play in this game. I think he's brilliant. Right, so that's the end of Skids Go. And that is the end of the movement phase. Next up is the Arkham encounter phase. And here we are. It falls to Roland to deliver the coup de grace to Ithaqua. He's going to seal the gate. So let's get rid of the gate holder. He's going to use the Elder Sign. He's going to set up. He's going to set it all up. Do the ritual. Cast the spell. You lose a bit of sanity. He has to use his own blood as part of the ritual, so he loses some stamina. But it means that he seals the gate. The gate is sealed, and suddenly, with 6 gates sealed, there's a dimensional ripple that suddenly turns into a roar, and all the other gates that are open in Arkham, at the Silver Twilight Lodge, at the Witch House, and at Hibbs Roadhouse, they all close. All the monsters get sucked out of Arkham as the gates close and the dimensional rift is finally put to rest, and all we have left is the quiet, sleepy town of Arkham, Massachusetts. And suddenly the icy wind lessens and grows still, and the grey snow-filled clouds break and sun begins to shine upon Arkham. Yes, we've won. Absolutely brilliant. Well, we did really well there. I do confess we got very lucky, especially in the last few turns. Everything went for us in the last few turns. We got some very favourable Mythos cards. In fact, that Uptown Streets one, we ended up getting that one twice, although the second time we didn't have any Uptown monsters to get rid of. But we did surprisingly well, considering this is Arkham Horror. I think the game went extremely easy on us. I've had a lot worse than that. I've had games, you know, where I've lost in just a few turns. It went pretty easy on us in that one. But the next one that's coming up, I don't think that'll be quite as easy on us, because all these scenarios, they get slightly harder and harder and harder. They are introductory scenarios, so they're not meant to be mega difficult. They are meant to be for new players, but it does ramp up as we go along. And the second one, well, I think that's going to be a little bit more difficult, and we might end up not doing quite so well. But I'll come back with the next scenario. Probably won't be till next week, as I'm off to see The Who in Hyde Park in London, so that'll be very good this weekend. But next week we'll start on the next Arkham Horror playthrough. After that one, I'll probably go back to Shadows of Brimstone, just for a bit of a change up, and then carry on with the Arkham Horror ones after doing a few Shadows of Brimstone ones. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the Arkham Horror playthrough. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had a great time. Made a few mistakes, but that's pretty much par for the course when you play a solo game. You're always going to make a few. Didn't make as many as I thought I'd make, thank God. But and the main one was just missing Charlie's encounter a couple of turns ago. Don't know what was on there. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the playthrough as much as I have. Thanks very much for watching, and again, thanks for the subscriptions, thanks for the comments, and thanks for the views. And I hope you'll join me next time in the next adventure. But for now, toodaloo. Ta-ta!